Welcome, 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 everyone, to another adventure into reality. Come on into the chat room. Today, we are going to be taking calls here a little later. So, Galactic History 2.0 is out, and there have been a tremendous response from everybody that is there. I just want to read some of the comments that people have been putting up on the product page. Thanks for putting this one from Joshua. Thanks for putting this out. It's my binge of the week. I've started with the first record at recording at 1:20 a.m. Already I already know what I'll find through these files. Thanks, Andrew. Wow, the last 20 minutes of the AI Fat Finger recorder brings up so many potential questions and implications. Amazing. I'm glad that you included the Julian Wells thing in there. Those are a sample of some of the questions that are out there. And so many people have responded so far. And what we just want to say is there is a high level of recordings that are in there that are meant to help each and every one of you to get to the next level of understanding what the galactic history is, what the galactic history was, and what the galactic history can be for you at each individual level. So I'm going to read another question here. Hold on. Okay, 1 second. I was playing something that I shouldn't have played. For some reason, my comments aren't showing up. All right, I'm having a little bit of trouble. Anyways, if you are interested in purchasing the Galactic History, go to the andrewbartzis.com webpage into the store. All right, everyone that has your video on, turn it off. Please, everyone, turn off your video. It interrupts the recording. We have a standard rule. Do not turn on your video. So, Sion, Angela, Joyce, turn off your video. There you go. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. So if you're interested in purchasing the Galactic History 2.0, you can go to the Andrew Bartzis /store page, and we have it there for a special price. And many, many, many people have been commenting on the value of what you're getting. Only for $88 at andrewbartzis.com. And if I can pull up that comments page, I will read you some more, but for some reason, it does not want to pop up. I can't search for it on a live show. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for coming in and being in the show here today. If anybody would like to talk about the galactic history questions, go ahead and type them here in the chat room. And if you want to have a Galactic History 2.0 conversation or have a standard conversation with me, go ahead and raise your hand. And we do ask everyone, if you have called in the last month, please wait. Everyone wants to get a chance. I see many people that are putting their hands up that have already had their hand up from the month before. So please be respectful and only put your hand up if you haven't been on the last month. All right. If you're listening on Facebook or YouTube, we want you to come here into the chat room. Only those that are in the Zoom room will get, this is where we curate our questions from, as well as take call-ins. Robert, you want to put up on the screen here how to join? All right. This is go to zoom.us, and this is the meeting number 911-001-1974. And there's a call-in number there too. United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and Australia, and the same meeting number. All right, Robert, 1 second here. Some reason is... Damn it. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who wants to have a conversation.
Okay, okay, Andrew. Marie Song, you are unmuted with Andrew.
Dame
Hi.
Marie, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, where are you calling from today?
Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey City, New Jersey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm not really here for me. I have a friend who I introduced her to you, and I wanted you to talk to her because it's the only way she's in touch with you.
Okay.
So her name is Anna Marie.
Anna Maria.
Anna Maria Black.
Hello, how you doing, Anna Maria?
Okay, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Oh, well, a few nights ago, I saw myself during sleep where a huge lightning bolt during my sleep had come down and struck me on the chest, and it felt like defibrillator paddles were put on my chest, and when I went to throw my cell phone during the dream experience, I threw the phone off of my chest, and that's when my entire body was completely vibrating. And I thought I really felt like I was in a moment of transitioning, and I had to push myself awake. And I don't know, I've had my whole life has been all kinds of experiences for as long as I can remember. But out of all of the experiences I ever had, this was the most intense. And when I remembered I seen like this huge lightning bolt that struck me in the chest, I also remember seeing also a gold light around it as well. And to my understanding, that when that beam had hit me, it just did not feel like it was benevolent, but the gold light was. So, and right now I can see sparkle lights right now on this side. So, for a few years, I'm able to see a lot of lights, especially through cell phones, through computers. I'm always seeing lights all the time.
How old are you?
I'll be 49 on Saturday.
And you said this has been going on your whole life?
I've been seeing these things my whole life, and I've been seeing lights, hearing angels, and all kinds of things. But these past few years, they have been increasingly intensifying. And like I said, this last
does your family not believe in you, what you say?
No, they do. My sister is kind of, but my mom, she's had her own experiences. My father was always aware of the sense beyond, the physical. Okay. He was always aware of that.
What about your friends? Has there been a challenge with them to understand what you're going through?
I've actually have a core of people that are very small. Core that we do talk about these things, about these kinds of experiences. I don't just blare it out. I only talk to certain individuals about it. I'm getting to where I feel like I'm being pushed to talk about it more out in the open. So I'm just kind of navigating through that. But I do feel like in my body, like my adrenals and all, I just feel like I'm in and out. I'm just trying to settle in with these. Like I said, ever since this thing that happened to me recently, I feel really different. I don't know. I'm still kind of settling in almost.
I'm scanning you. I'm scanning you as we're talking. So what kind of job did you do? The
kind of work that I do, I take care of special needs. I take care of hospice patients. I'm in the medical field. So.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that for?
Let's see. For about 13, 14 years, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. And are you doing this now during coronavirus, or are you at home?
No, I do stretches, like we do like a 48-hour, we can take naps in between. So right now we're doing like power shifts. And right now I'm on my day off right now.
So you live at the home that you're working at?
I go to my house and to work, and that's where I.
And how many actual hours a week are you working?
48 hours.
Plus drive time?
It's less than 10 minutes.
Okay. Um, there's a lot going on with you. First thing first, you've got to get yourself out of fear.
Yeah.
The fact that the gold light came out of you is revealing of a lot of things. I think that you've done this job for too long, and you've taken on the death energies of a lot of, and the pain energies of a lot of everyone around you, because you're at one level of super psychic, but you don't know how to use your skills. And I think the gold light was to take the gigantic weight of death around you off your shoulders. And I think it's time for you to choose another field. And these ominous energy is, I got to choose a new field, and you should be doing stuff like what I'm doing. You shouldn't be in the medical field watching people die and changing clothes and helping people out of bed. You should be helping them in a different way. You should be manifesting this skill and learning how to read auras and taking shamanic classes during your interim time, but you're too tired to do that all the time. You talk about a lot, but guess what? Talk is cheap during coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to forgive the language, but you got to get up off your ass and do something that moves your skill set, or the skill set's going to get taken away.
I'm completely there with you.
Okay?
Yes.
And I mean taken away. Boop. But all the traumas of everything are still going to be there. And that's the only way you're going to get the skill set back. And unfortunately for a lot of people, they get their skill sets taken away because they're not responsible to them. And right now, you going into fear and having your friend call in for you, what kind of garbage is that? Why didn't you have the courage to put yourself in?
Oh, she doesn't know you. Like I just introduced you to her. So she had no idea.
Still, it's a psychic call-in show. There's 10,000 of them on the air. What are you afraid of?
What I am, again, like I said, what I was afraid of, yeah, I guess I'm still working through people thinking that I'm loca. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Deeply ingrained in you somewhere as a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
You should be a professional psychic awareness being, giving sessions, readings, and healings.
Yes, sir.
Okay? That's what you should be doing.
Yes.
Reiki, cranial sacral therapy, myofascial release. You should go and get a naturopath degree. You're absolutely wasting yourself at this job for 13 years. You've learned everything about death and dying. You don't need to learn anymore.
Got it.
Okay? Now there's more. There's a responsibility to these skill sets. And I'm going to play a little hardball here with you. You haven't been responsible to them. They own you. You don't own them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
And as long as they own you, you're a wild horse that can be self-dangerous. And all of a sudden tap into an energy you shouldn't tap into. Like right now, have your friend rub the top of your shoulders right where the base of your neck is and ask how hard is it? Is it like concrete?
Yep.
Yeah, that shouldn't be that way. Period. When your shoulders at the base of your neck are that level of concrete, the level of stress you're under means you don't even actually sleep right.
Correct.
You're not even entering delta sleep. Are you ready to take care of yourself and love yourself enough to take control of the skill and tame it?
Yes, I am.
Then what does it actually take for you to do it? Oh, because only you can do it. I can only give you pointers here. You're the one that's going to actually take each step.
Well, I do have I did go to school for massage therapy, but I have to get all of that, my licensing and all that rearranged, so back into it. But I need to, I just need to speak my truth and talk more and just be honest and truthful about the things that I've.
Mm-hmm. You need to write. You need to write things down. You need to have confessions on your cell phone. Every day you've got to start confessing what you've experienced, so it's recorded and you can go back and listen to it. All the experiences you can possibly remember.
Yes.
And even the ones that are going to make you cry and deny.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have nightmares when you were young?
Yes. I can I say this? Can I be personal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be.
I'm also a big time childhood sexual assault survivor through my young childhood, through my teen years.
Mhm.
And going to be 49, I would say in the past couple of years, I've just now had, been able to talk about it and come to terms with it. So that's a huge journey.
Well, you still got more in the journey to go. You've got to remove the trauma out of the body. Okay. And that's going to require body work. Okay.
Yes.
Now we're in lockdown right now, so it's going to make it hard to get body work. Okay. That doesn't mean you can't do the inner work now.
Right.
The inner work is forgiveness, pure on blanket forgiveness for all there is, was, or ever was done to you or to those that are around you, to make a complete and total frequency of I am in the emanated state of forgiveness. There is no shame, blame, or guilt that can attach to me externally or internally.
I'm listening.
That is your 1 month goal, is to achieve an hour to 2 hours a day, because you can do this while you're at work. It's a mantra of forgiveness. I forgive myself for being abused. I forgive my abusers. I forgive those people that didn't report it. I forgive every punch and every kick and every penetration that was ever done. I forgive myself for every tear, for every depressive moment, for every thought of suicide. I forgive myself. And I'm a repetitive mantra until you can start truly emanating the energy of forgiveness. Okay. Have you ever tried something like that?
I thought I have. I really thought that I've done all of it, but
You're at a state where I think your job makes you think you're doing a lot more than you're actually doing. Okay.
yes,
You have to save a lot of yourself for your job. And you've known this for a long time. Okay. You said you're 43 now?
I'll be 49 in Saturday.
49. So you'd have been 36 when you started this job, young girl. Okay. Do you have a lot of bills to pay?
Not really, no.
Okay.
No.
Can you go on unemployment?
You
go on unemployment?
I could do that.
Then go on unemployment and start healing yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Really make it your job for the next month that I'm going to do the inner work. I talk a lot about ceremonies. Do you ever do any ceremonies for yourself?
I have, on and off. I have.
Okay, well, this would be the opportunity for you to go full time in it. Get like 10 or 12 or 15 hours of ceremony a week. I would highly recommend that you get to do some kind of something by a fire, preferably an outdoor fire.
Okay.
Are you able to do any fires outdoors?
I can, yes. I live in an area where I'm able to do that with a
Perfect.
tub and
Good. Got a bunch of wood and burn and burn. If anyone says what you're doing, I'm cooking. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be important for you to do some alchemy on yourself. So you're really going to have to get in touch with prayer. What does prayer mean to you?
Peace. I that's the other thing too. I feel like also that I'm always, I feel like always in prayer, and I'm always in that space where and I don't know if it's inviting so many things to come in, because I'm always in that.
It is inviting things in because you cannot live in that state. And this is that wild horse of an energy that's inside you that you have to begin to tame.
Got it.
Okay. So have you just found out about me. So on my main webpage, andrewbartzis.com, are 7 free things that I give to everyone that are type of prayer. They're called contract revocations, invocations. I would highly recommend that you go and do some of them and practice them with your friend. Okay. Yes. They're there to trigger you into a multidimensional awareness of what is in your frequency and what is not supposed to be in your frequency.
Okay.
And understanding that prayer is a form of connectivity and interconnectivity, and a way to make higher frequency friendships and relationships with beings that are trying to communicate to you. That gold light that's coming out of you was a guide that sacrificed itself for you. It's no longer a guide for you. It can't operate in the physical world anymore. You know, like a cat with 9 lives, you got about 3 left. You've burned through 6 of your starting guides.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Out of hesitate, you just have hesitation and in doubt of yourself. That's what you got to figure out, is stop being in hesitation and doubt.
You know what, I'll tell you what the fear that I have, it is the main is to appear or have this statistical way of, I don't know, I just don't want to come across as if with this huge ego in this realm and all this. And I know that's something that's the biggest thing I need to work through. Because, you know, if ever I just don't, like I said, I just don't want to come across as somebody that's, I don't know, this huge.
That right there is the self-defeating habit patterns that will keep you in hesitation and doubt. You are not going to be in giant ego if you go into the spiritual world. That is something you created as a self-defeating habit pattern, so you wouldn't do it. You're defeating your confidence before it even starts by saying, I'm going to become egotistical. No, you're not. You're afraid someone's going to call you egotistical because you're going to have to believe in yourself, and some of the words that are going to come out of your mouth are going to be like what I'm saying to you, deeply hitting home to people, and they're going to think, oh, you're full of ego. You're no. That's gab talk between people.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing gab talk. You're connecting to your source and using your skill set in such a way that it benefits others. That's called being of service.
Yes.
And you've got to accept that journey of being service.
And I want to, I am.
But you have not done it yet. Okay? You're doing it for your paid job right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But now you also have to understand you have to be service out of your own personal needs too. And that isn't selfish. And that's your fear of ego.
Got it.
Okay?
Yes.
Do you have children?
I have one son, yes.
How old is your son?
He just turned 14.
Just turned. Is he having issues?
Yes, but he's reclusive. He keeps things aside, and his dad and I, we always spoke with him about him expressing himself, and let him know that it's okay to express, and we're always
your son is a reflection of you and not success. He came in this world to be propelled by your inner success, beauty, and light. The better you get, the better your son will get.
Yes.
Okay, you deep down inside, you know that. The more work you're able to do on yourself, your son will mystically start healing himself and being social and doing things.
Yes.
You're that interconnected with him. He came here to be propelled by your joy, your happiness, your capacity to be great.
I saw him conceive. I saw conception happen. I saw him saw it happen. Yeah. So I know that we are so connected.
Yeah, you are. Okay. How long you been married for?
We were together for over 22 years. It was a very rocky, codependent, all that stuff. And we had just now, it's been going on a year since we've been separated, but we have just now for the past 3 months have gotten to a space where we can actually be together and laugh as a family unit, and and be okay around each other, and just yeah, no drama or anything like that. So yeah, we are a split family, but we are a family unit, and we do work together. We still talk, and when it concerns our son, and we work together. So my son stays with his dad and his grandfather. It just works better that way.
Because you can't take care of him because of your job and your own personal needs.
One of the things is that because of all the energetic and all this stuff, it's constantly. I don't want him to get zapped, so to speak. I just don't want him to be in that realm when I'm trying to figure.
Can you hear what you're saying? Can you hear the denial in your own words?
Yes.
Can you hear your own self-defeat in your own words?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Then why let yourself be run by arguments of self-defeat?
I'm being truthful. I'm being honest, and
that's not truth. Arguments for self-defeat are not truthful and honest. You're not.
No.
The real reason is I can't be a mother right now. Okay. Can you say that out loud?
Yes, I can. I cannot be a mother right now.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Forgive yourself. Don't whip yourself and torture yourself about that truth anymore. Say, I forgive myself right now.
I forgive myself
for not able to be a mother right now.
for not being.
Go ahead, finish it.
I forgive myself for not being able to be a mother right now.
And I give honor and prayer to my son and my ex-husband who can be a father now when I'm unable to.
And I give honor
and prayer
to my son and to my ex-husband who's able to be wonderful.
So I can go into myself and recover.
I can go into myself and recover.
And be a mother once more.
And be a mother once more.
Okay?
Yes.
Don't beat yourself up over that truth.
Okay.
It's just a waste of energy for you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
You're more free now in this moment than you've been in many, many years.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
What are you going to do with it? What can you do with this freedom? Love yourself enough to do something other than the repetition that's no illumination.
No.
Learn how to love yourself again. Love yourself into motivation. Love yourself into action. And use blanket forgiveness of all there is, was, or ever was done to you so you can become the excellence of your own execution. And you will make mistakes, and it's okay.
Yes.
You are your own excellence of execution with your flawed perfection. Accept that. Do you read books?
On and off, I do. Yes.
When's the last time you read a book?
I would say about a month.
Okay. What kind of book was it? What kind of book was it?
It was what's the name of it? It's about the Christ consciousness. It's something about the Christ-like consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of the author, but it's kind of a new book. It was recommended by Whitley Strieber. He had him on one of his.
Okay. I want you to write this name of a book down. It's called Dancing the Dream by Jamie Sams.
Dancing the Dream by
Jamie Sams, Jamiesams.
Okay. Dancing the Dream.
Okay. She's a Native American author who also was abused at a very young age.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be the toughest book you have ever read. It's 220 pages, the most enlightening book, and the easiest book you ever read. Toughest and easiest. There is going to be so many parallels between the author and you. Okay. And I say toughest because there's going to be parts of you who don't want to go into the future. Okay.
Okay.
She also has many other books out there. Just start with Dancing the Dream.
Okay.
Okay. And it's going to help reveal your inner skill sets. It's about the 7 pathways to human transformation. Okay.
I got it. She gave it to, she had
Pow! Magic. There it is. Okay. Powerful book. It is the one book of all the books that I read that was the greatest influence on me.
Okay.
All right, darling, I've got to let you go and move on to my next caller. But thank
I
you so much for having the courage to have your friend call in for you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I love you, Andrew.
Love you too, guys. You take it easy.
You too, man.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who comes up next.
Okay, Angelo, you are unmuted with Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Angelo, how you doing? Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Germany.
Germany, welcome to the show. What did you want to
Thank
talk
you.
about today?
Well, I guess I'm just calling in for like a general reading. I've
Okay.
seen a couple of your shows before, but I'm not that familiar with it, to be honest.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, right now, I guess as most people, I have a lot of time on my hands, and I'm thinking a lot about redirecting. So
Mhm.
I
Well,
guess that's what I want to.
let me tune into you to tell me about yourself. So what do you do for a job?
Well, before I worked as a recruiter. So right now I'm in Germany. I'm originally from Germany here, but I was living in Spain, in Barcelona for 4 years, 3.5 years.
So when you say recruiter for people that have like a job, like job
Yeah,
recruiter,
exactly. Right. Yeah.
was that a private scenario or are you working for a company?
No, for a company, for an agency.
How long you been recruiting for?
2 years or less.
How did you get into that job?
Well, I was working in customer service before that, and I was just
Uh-huh.
looking for a change, and I kind of got into it. So it was, yeah, a friend kind of recommended to me to do that because I was looking to do something else. And
Uh-huh. Do you like doing it?
no, no.
Okay. What do you like to do?
Well, to be honest with you, in the past 3.5 years, I recognized that the corporate world is just not for me.
Uh-huh.
It's just not what is meant for me. So right now I started to write a blog on self-awareness,
Uh-huh.
and it was surprising on how easy it was for me to write actually. But there's parts of me that are still resisting it, that don't want to go into the spiritual stuff, I guess.
Okay. Have you had any spiritual experiences in your life?
A whole lot, yeah.
Like what?
Especially recently. Usually like when I go to sleep, um, quite negative to be honest. It feels like attacks mainly.
Uh-huh.
But apart from that, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of just in the moment insight, where I just have this initial knowing of things, I would say.
Uh-huh. What would you say your most mystical experience in your whole life is?
Wow. Well, I guess the whole decision to move to Barcelona, and because I'm originally from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and when I moved there, I was walking around the city, and I had a moment where I realized that I actually dreamed about the place that I went to.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, English is not my first language. I don't know if
It's
that
fine.
makes.
It's fine. No, it's fine. You had a precognitive moment. You dreamed about
Yeah,
being there before you were there.
yeah, and I have never seen that place before actually, so I was in complete shock when I was there and remembered that I was there before.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I would say that was one of the moments. Yeah.
Kind of told you were on the right path.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Not the right job, but on the right path.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were
Yeah.
just talking about writing a blog and being aware. Well, it's very easy to write about being aware because you have to be aware about writing about awareness.
Hmm.
So my first thing to you is you may not like the job or the corporate world, but right now the corporate world's falling apart,
Right.
right? And how much longer do you think you're going to be a recruiter for this type of world?
Well, right now, actually, I'm thinking about moving back to Germany.
No, 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 no. The job itself, how long do you think it's going to be sustained?
Oh, well, when everything's falling apart, there's nothing to recruit for. So,
Correct.
yeah,
Correct.
right.
What have you learned from recruiting that you can take to yourself and start a business with it? That isn't just a blog that may have a few people here or there.
Mm, I guess overall, like the way of communicating with people, the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
What type of people fill what type of roles?
well, I had two recruiter jobs. So the first recruiting job I had was for different areas, so for digital marketing, sales, customer service. And the last one was for IT positions.
Okay. So you had to have know a little something about IT to put a person in a position.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the world's a digital world now. And if you move back to Germany, you have got to be able to go into hardcore writing about
Okay.
awareness, consciousness, everything you could possibly write about it. Read as many philosophy books, comparative religion books. Definitely look at the Indian Vedas. Okay. If you haven't read
Hmm.
anything on the Vedas already, there are a lot of conversations about consciousness in there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's one thing to keep you occupied, but how do you make money at doing it?
Yeah.
Which has been your challenge for the last couple of years of how do I believe in myself enough to start in a business and something that I know something about, but I don't think I'm an expert at it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to start building the ground core confidence skills, like marketing 101. Like, well, I can be an expert. It's my own stuff. You are the expert of your own stuff, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you write a 20-page speech that tells people how to change their life in German and it accurately translates into English and something else, you have a multi-dimensional, multilingual speech there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's really about self-help motivation for you right now to motivate yourself into self-help so that you can be an expert about your own material
Right.
and believing you're your own expert.
Hmm.
Okay.
There's.
Getting in front of a camera and finding out if you have any kind of stage fright.
Hmm. It's interesting that you say that because I have seen. I actually can't remember if it was a dream or just like a vision, but I've seen myself on a stage talking to people,
Yeah, you were meant
which.
to, I'm giving you your psychic reading. You're meant to do it, but you got to write material to get on the stage.
Right. It's just
And
I guess I have.
the whole point of you having that job was to be confident in you talking to people. Being on stage is no different. And for everyone out there that's afraid of the stage, listen to what I'm saying. When you're on stage, it's no different than having a conversation. People just don't instantly talk back. It's a
Mhm.
monologue scenario. And sometimes they heckle you or whatever, but that's easy.
Right.
Okay. You will be
Hmm.
perfect on stage, but you have to choose a language you're going to do it in.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And right now, German is the best language for you to do it in.
Yeah.
Okay. You can practice your English version of the speech later. Do High German?
Yeah. I do. I can.
Okay. Write it in as much High German as possible. Okay.
Hmm.
Why?
And I.
Because it's more prescriptive.
Right.
You can find more ways to describe what it is you're trying to talk about.
Hmm. Hmm.
states of awareness and states of being.
Right.
So you're talking
It's just
before it feels like you're being attacked, right?
yeah.
That's because you're entangled into all these people's careers. How many people have you found jobs with in the last 2 years? 1,000?
Sorry, what's that?
How many people have you found jobs for in the last 2 years? 1,000?
No, less. It was less. Maybe a couple of hundred.
Okay. So each and every one of those people's careers tied up to your energy frequency.
Oh wow.
Right. Okay. So you said you were new to my material, and one of the things I talk about is spiritual hygiene.
Mhm.
Okay. And you've got to learn that when a person goes to a job based off of your recommendation for your company, your word is on the line, seen and unseen.
Mhm.
Okay. How many of those jobs haven't worked out where people, the bosses that you sent somebody to got angry?
Yeah, happens a lot.
What did they do wrong?
Sorry.
What did those people do wrong?
Well, I guess like not behaving the way they expected, like
Mhm.
mistreating the company guidelines and stuff like that. So it happened quite a lot.
And those are the attacks you're feeling in your dream frequency, because they're attacking you, somebody who just works for somebody else. And that's a no-no in spiritual hygiene. You got to be able to say no to that shit.
Mhm. And how can I clear that? How can I clear that out?
That starts with ceremony and ritual of saying no and recovering your right to be you, and that when you leave work, nothing comes home with you. Attachments don't come home with you, as well as telling your inner self, I believed in this person and got him a job and they fucked up. Okay, let it go. Next. Don't hold on to shit. Okay. Okay.
Right.
The nature of your job is entangling people into a future. Okay. Think of you're talking about consciousness and awareness. You're getting somebody who might have a job for the next 20 years. Is that person going to remember you in 20 years from now?
No.
They might. They just might. Or that boss just might. You don't know. You got to allow yourself to see the potentialities of what that job means to a conscious aware being of choice, who's engaging other conscious aware beings of choice for something that's $1 an hour or euros per hour for a future.
It's just, I guess, like in general, because you just mentioned as well in terms of my career path, it's just I feel like parts of me, they actually don't want to have anything to do with spirituality at all.
Sure,
even though
there's a reason, because you weren't a kid when you were growing up. You weren't allowed to really be a kid when you were growing up. Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, lots of things. I guess not being able to really just be.
Right. You weren't allowed to be a kid. And that's what's coming out of you right now. You just want to be a kid and enjoy life. Can't you
100%.
enjoy life by being a consciousness explorer? Writing about the things you want to do? You're just an adult kid.
I guess part of me is like also is thinking it's gonna be hard to find anyone to relate to, because most people they don't seem to understand anything of this.
You're just hanging around the wrong people. You're hanging around the serious corporate types who weren't kids when they were growing up either. Okay? There are plenty of people out there. Otherwise, the consciousness community would never have shows or anything like this and gotten people like you interested in it.
Right.
Okay?
Well, thank you so much. That was really, really insightful. Definitely.
You're welcome. You're welcome, man. And I would tell you to go back to Germany as soon as they allow you to travel.
Can I ask one more thing though?
Sure. Go ahead.
Like, because at the time, like when I moved to Spain, I actually thought I would go there forever. Also, when I was living there, I was telling myself I would never go back to Germany. And ever since this whole situation happened, I feel a strong pull to go back.
Right.
But is that, do you see that as a good thing, or is it just seeking comfort in terms of the whole?
I see it as a
uncertainty?
good. I see it as a good thing. Okay, as a good thing. It is a good thing. And you just have to let yourself see that.
Okay.
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 All right, man. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who's next.
Okie doke. Shane K, you're on with Andrew.
Shane, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Where are you calling from today?
Burnaby, BC, Canada.
Burnaby, BC, Canada. Welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, first, I just want to thank you for everything you've given to me. Your revocations, I had a reading with you maybe 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it has helped me so much since then. So from the bottom of my heart, I really want to say thank you.
Great. What has it done for you?
Oh, so much. Oh, so much. I just feel like I'm much more myself now
Mhm.
than I've ever been. And it keeps growing, and I feel good. I'm just very
Great.
thankful.
Okay, so what did you want to talk about today?
Well, if there is anything you see that I could, maybe I'm not paying attention to, I'm always open to hear. I did quit my job yesterday, and I'm
Okay.
very happy about that. And I feel like a free man now.
What were you doing?
I managed a health food store.
I remember you now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I remember you now.
Yeah.
The mom and pop health food store that didn't give you any respect.
You know what? I found out that my boss really didn't respect my belief system yesterday, and it made the job so much easier just to let it go.
Yeah.
And I also did start drawing, which was one of your recommendations.
Yeah.
And they're turning out really well. So again, thank
Ooh.
you. So things are percolating, and I'm very happy.
Great. So let me tune into you for a second here. So you just quit the job. What are your intentions to going to do for a job now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Some sort of coaching, possibly, with physical and the non-physical. That's something that I am thinking about. Maybe something to do with art. But I am very open to just kind of receiving whatever the universe has for me.
So what is there some kind of employee protection process going on in Canada for people that have no job?
Because I quit, I'm not entitled to it, but I'm pretty okay with that because I'll be okay for a while.
Okay.
I'm not really very worried about it at all.
All right. Well, art and cooking are great things to do, but how are you actually going to make a career out of it during coronavirus where restaurants aren't open?
No, not cooking, like coaching.
Coaching. Okay.
Yeah. So I would create an online website. I already have one in the work, but it needs some updating. So that is possibly one avenue I have been thinking about.
Well, website is not the first thing you do when you want to become a coach. You start coaching first and then build a website. Okay? That's the most important thing to do. There's the whole cart before the horse. There's so many people that call me up and say, I'm ready to be a coach. I'm doing my website, and you've never coached anyone. Okay. What would you coach people?
I feel like the experience, because I was a health food store worker.
Right. You could take an online
usually health and fitness.
Yeah, you could start that as well as taking a nutrition class. Take an online nutrition class and add that under your belt. You can take an online hypnotherapy class and add that under your belt. Because you can do all that.
I also would like to start learning more about, spiritual things. So some sort of like Chinese medicine. I'd like to focus my energy in that area.
Well, Chinese medicine's a 3-year degree in Canada. But all the schools are shut down. All the schools are shut down right now. So it's going to be a little tough to start a Chinese medicine degree during COVID-19 lockdown. So look for the things that you can do. You could even find if you can find an online homeopath, naturopath class. Okay? Because those are all right up your alley. Health, food, diet, fitness, all that. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, when it comes to spirituality stuff, you got to begin doing your own personal spiritual experiences, having regular ceremonies, and learning how to become a magical practitioner of the self.
Mhm.
Okay. Robert,
Any
I think you got to mute. Hold on one second. Robert, you got to mute.
Oops.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
That's Aramisa, his little baby in the background whistling away.
Mhm.
Anyway, so you've got to begin giving yourself more opportunities to have spiritual journeys, spiritual experiences. Now that you're off, you set aside 2 hours a day that you're doing meditation, exercise, make that your job. Okay.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah, I'm already in the process of that. I took a salt bath today with salt, silver salt and sage mix that was baking in the sun for the last
Mhm.
few days.
mhm.
So I'm doing certain processes. Are there any other recommendations you have?
So as I scan your energy field, let me ask you this question. What do you do for personal fun and entertainment that isn't spirituality?
I enjoy drawing. I'm getting more into working out again. I found being at that job kind of sucked the fun out of working out and exercise.
Uh-huh.
So that is I'm enjoying that more now.
Okay.
Um, yeah, those would be the main hobbies.
Okay. I would really advise you to find some other kind of hobby that allows the innocent inner childish you to come out and just have unrestricted fun.
Hmm.
So what would be something you do as pure unrestricted childish fun for you?
Hmm. I'm not sure.
That's something you got to explore. And the reason I say that is that job took a lot more out of you than you know.
I felt it towards the end. I definitely felt it.
The super serious you had to take over and sell your ass off. And you
Mhm.
got to learn how to turn the salesman off and just be you again.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What did you do as a kid for fun?
I'll be honest. Childhood was pretty rough. So
Mhm.
I kind of shut myself down as a kid and as a young teenager. I was very angry.
Mhm.
And just kind of shut down and just kind of stayed alone. So I didn't really have much fun as a kid. I mean, I like to explore and be in nature.
Okay. You can still do
That,
that.
hmm
You can still do that, but you've got to discover hobbies that are strictly for the innocent inner child. Maybe model making or RC cars. Okay. Something where the inner you can go vroom vroom and push around a car like the old little kid that was pushing around a car, little toy
hmm
car. Okay. Legos, something.
Okay.
Okay.
hmm
Did you use Legos when you were a kid?
I did, yeah.
Do you still have access to them?
I'm sure I can find some.
Well, get some. Get some. Okay. And
Yeah.
observe your mind. The super serious health food store is going to come out a lot, and you're going to have to learn to purge him from your system.
hmm
Okay.
hmm
So that's part of your growth. Now, the next thing here is, have you coached anyone before?
Like one-on-one coaching, no.
Yeah.
But I, to me, it seems very similar to having regular customers come into the store. They come in, they every 2 weeks or so,
It's
they pick
not.
up their product. Oh,
It's
it's not.
not. It's not. It's not. First thing first, you have to have a cutoff line. You are not their psychologist. All too
Mhm.
often, coaches get cornered into a scenario where they're doing trauma release and psychological stabilization on their people who come for coaching.
Mhm.
Okay? You have to set a set of rules. If you're going to be giving a motivational scenario of getting people to eat right and exercise, it has to be only about that. And if they have a depressive attitude, you've got to tell them to leave that shit at the door.
Mhm.
Okay? How many clients would just sit there and talk to you and talk to you and take up your time?
A fair amount.
You were fucking their side's therapist. That's why.
Yeah, I let that happen too, and now I see it.
Right. That's the other thing that stole a lot of energy out of you. You cannot become their therapist. So you've got to
Yeah,
develop coaching journeys and scenarios that keep it on point to that stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Come up with a coaching class, come up with a teacher's syllabus, which is you teaching, and start practicing doing that. I guarantee you, if you put yourself down for 40 hours, you could have 2 or 3 styles of coaching classes, what you would do with them for 4 weeks in a row, because you're going to make, 3 week, 6 week, and 9 week packages, and then a year long package. Okay. And the price that you want to do, what does it cost for you to live, and how many coachings per month do you have to do to break even? Yeah. And then the other thing,
I'm a very simple man.
Okay. Once you start coaching, you also are going to have to learn to sell yourself more than just your website. You're going to have to go on, do a podcast. You're going to have to go on other people's shows. You're going to have to sell yourself in another way. And I know you can do it. It's just getting the experience under your belt.
Me too.
Okay. Because you could easily start coaching people now and just find some volunteers.
I'm getting more comfortable.
Right, people that'll pay you $10 a week to be the guinea pig. Okay. You can do everything via Skype or Zoom like this. Okay. So are there any other questions you want to ask me?
I'm always interested in learning more about my own history, my own galactic history.
It doesn't apply right now. The past is you are not about the past now. You're about acting in the present.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the area I live in?
It has a lot of issues. It requires people to do a lot of energy on the land, or things backfire on a regular basis there. So it's a very tricky energy to live in. Do you get Bigfoot energy there a lot?
Not that I feel.
No, it's there. You just don't see it or feel it. Once you start regularly doing ritual and ceremony on the land's going to have a very different respect for you. Okay. And that's all I really can say at this point, because the land also wants to introduce itself to you when you step up your energetic game.
Okay. Well, but when you say step up the energetic game, is there specifics that you can kind of guide me towards?
Ritual and ceremony, fire ceremonies, honoring of the ancestors, the stuff that I've talked about for years and years and years, contract revocations, invocations, ceremonial, ancestral ceremonial soups, 4 corners of the bed, 4 corners of your room, 4 corners of the property, a ritual ceremonial practitioner for yourself and your own energy hygiene.
Okay.
All right, brother, I got to let you go and move on to my next caller. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Alfredo Torres, you're unmuted with Andrew.
Alfredo, are you there?
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I'm here. Holy shit.
Yeah, you made it. Where are you calling from today?
Damn, I'm calling from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Man, first off, thanks for all you do. I know you're here too much, but like it's definitely helped me grow and develop like extensively. But yeah, I'm here for my spiritual roasting, if that makes like
spiritual roasting. All right. Let me put you on the spit roast and see what oil drips out of you.
Oh yeah, I want to hear it all the hard truths and everything. Yeah, I know everybody calls. They're like, "Oh, join my galactic history. I want to get my spiritual boner. Like, I want my spiritual roast. I want to get roasted." Like,
You want to get roasted? All right. Well, tell me a little about yourself so I can tune into you.
oh man, heart's racing. Yeah. So I'm just trying to follow, my spiritual path. It's been it's been something else, man. I'm still working Whole Foods retail, so I'm still, in the mix of all this stuff and trying to, get my how to say get myself prepared for the future, because I know things are changing rapidly and whatnot. That's why I want to develop more, quicker, faster. I know craniosacral therapy, you recommended it in my reading, like, what is it, 2 years ago, and like I put it on hold because I had to move out of the house I was living in because there was all kinds of things going on in there. So I decided to just move out first. We moved out. Now, like, I'm wondering if I should do like craniosacral online courses. I know you not recommended it earlier for whatever reason, or not craniosacral in specific, but like online courses. But I was thinking about that in the future, and yeah. And then I'm just trying to cope with, being a dad and my 2 autistic kids, and trying to communicate with them, and then dealing with my anger, which is always just bubbling up, and just it's just, especially right now, it's just been intense. Like, things just trigger me, and I just
Here comes your roast. You should have started your course 2 years ago. You'd have been done with it and a professional already. That's your first flame on you.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was your anger and your frustration that allowed you to self-defeat and say no. So tomorrow, let your fingers do a walking and find a class. Find a class.
The online courses, I think they're doing
anything.
Just dive in.
Even a massage degree. Okay.
I want to do cranial. Like, I'm very passionate. I really like the healing it did on me.
Yeah, so that's awesome stuff too. Myofascial release, but you still need a certification to be able to do the practitioner part. Okay. So, because a lot of 5-month massage schools still teach you craniosacral, and you just go and do the continuing education classes. Okay. So find a class, online, whatever. Find a class, get into it.
Just dive in.
Find the discipline to be into the learning state. The next thing is, you've let this anger run you. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
When are you going to stop letting it? When are you going to let it stop letting it run you?
Oh man, I know it's the reason why I haven't been able to get him, like, candida. Candida is this problem.
No, candida is just an excuse. It is not. Here's your next part of your roasting. Why are you not letting go of the anger? Who are you angry at?
I just, it's something within me that I just, oh man, I've been doing my work, but I feel like there's something I'm still missing. I'm like, I know anger is like one of the biggest pinpoints. It's like the one thing that everything can trigger me to lose my energy, to start over from ground.
No. You let your energy go, and you let people trigger you.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good about it, but then I don't even know.
You do know. Stop avoiding the answer.
Okay.
You do know. What are your triggers?
People telling me what to do. I guess my kids just being intensely loud, and just people, like, I guess a lot of things trigger me. I got my little computer right. I don't know. I just overstimulated, and I just get angry. And a lot of people dump a lot of stuff on me, and I'm still working on my boundaries. I'm just one of those people that's like a light that flies, just attract to, especially in the retail business. I don't know. That's kind of what I call, like,
You're avoiding the answer, and you're stumbling over your own words.
I am.
Okay.
I'm just angry about, I guess, my situation. I want to be.
You're angry about your situation, and you're not prepared to be a dad with 2 autistic children.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
Okay. Now admit that to yourself, to the deepest parts of yourself.
I'm not prepared to be a good dad and take care of my autistic kids, and I'm not good about handling my anger.
But I am a dad with 2 autistic kids.
But I am a dad with 2 autistic kids.
And I must learn how to take control of my anger.
And I must learn how to take control over my anger.
So I do not take it out on friends and family.
So I do not take it out on my friends and my family.
Or I will not be a good dad.
Or I will not be a good dad.
Okay? A truth you have to accept now. You grew up being angry, right?
I was always pretty calm and collected. My mom, she had a lot of anger issues. I would always just be reclusive and just game and just try to avoid my mom because she had a lot of anger issues.
And you took it
My
out.
dad was pretty calm and passive. He just let my mom just run the show. I don't know, and then like the anger just started coming out when I got older, and started taking care of myself. And all of a sudden, this anger just started surfacing. So when I got older, I started getting more angry. Hold up, everyone.
Okay. Do you realize that you're acting like your mother now?
Yeah, I probably am. I definitely feel like I've definitely picked up and carry on a lot of impartations from.
You're actually acting like your mother and you don't even realize it. Okay.
I believe that.
Okay. Is your mother still in your life?
Yeah. Definitely. I've been working on a relationship. It's definitely gotten a lot better. So it's not like I come over and it's a huge screaming fit. Just come over there. If she starts screaming and yelling, I just tell her I'm leaving. But I mean, yeah, well, we got a pretty good relationship. I definitely go over every now and then when I can. I know I'm really busy right now.
Because you don't want to be around her because you know she's going to melt down on a regular basis.
Yeah. She's got a lot of drama. She had like a stomach surgery, so I already know it's. I know there's a lot of things, health issues.
Because she's angry all the time, and stomach issues are common with angry people. So what about, is there a partner in your life helping you raise the children?
Yeah, I got my wife. She's also working retail too, so we're both working. So there's really not. It's like we're continuing on, just whatnot. So yeah, she's working overnights, so I drop her off overnight so she can work there, and then when she gets out, I come pick her up and pick up the kids, and then all that, and then I go to work, and then she takes over the kids. So we're always swapping places. So we're constantly.
But you're never together if she's working nights and you're working days.
Yeah, we haven't really been doing date nights or any.
Which means you have
every now and then.
Means you have no real outlet for your anger.
Outlet. Well, I take my anger out on her and the kids. Outlet for anger.
Right, but you can't take it out on them. That's childish. That's what your mother did.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
You can't take your anger out on your wife or your children.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. It's just destructive.
That's what your mother did, and that's the pattern you have to stop. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. You need to tell your wife she needs to get off a 3rd shift, and if anything, you go on 3rd shift. Because you can't handle being a father right now, and you're going to break down. Or both of you get day jobs and somebody watches the children.
Okay. I was kind of holding off till school started so we can transition to that, but I know that's prolonging the destruction.
You can't prolong it anymore, and that's going to be a thing you're going to do on the side. You're still going to have to work during school, unless you're going to get some kind of school benefits and somebody paying your way. You are the only one that can break this vicious cycle that's going on in you. You need to sit your wife down and say there needs to come some normalcy. Otherwise, you're going to be your mother from now on, and you can't survive that way.
Yeah, it's definitely fucking up my stomach. I've been trying to heal it so hard, but the anger,
You can't heal it until you get over the anger.
yeah.
Okay? You can't do it until you get over the anger. So you need to have a serious talk with your wife about normalizing the work scenario. Okay?
Okay.
What retail job are you doing now?
Oh, Whole Foods meat department, and
Okay, and what's she doing?
bunched up in one place. She's working overnights cleaning right now because I just didn't want to be in her parents' house anymore because it was just like too much. There was a lot of stuff going on in there that I just don't want to be around. It was chaos. There's a lot of people in and out, a lot of energies, a lot of people, a lot of projections. It's like, I don't know, I just made the decision. I was like, I could create psychotherapy, or I could move out of this house with all these crazy people. But yeah, I just didn't want to be there. So it was just like, oh, we'll just take turns with the kiddos.
Unfortunately, that has backfired on you right now.
Yeah. It's hard to do any type of. I mean, I whatever little energy I have, I use it for my my healing. I'm at work.
But you can't be doing your healing at work though.
Oh yeah, I can't. Everybody's flying to me like flies.
Okay. They're private time.
Yeah.
Okay. So my roasting for you is you've got to normalize your life. And you can't rush into decisions like suddenly moving out and setting yourself back 2 years. Okay.
Okay.
What would be worse, living with your mom or living with her parents?
Oh, living with her parents. Easy.
Is worse than your mom constantly yelling and screaming?
It's not as bad as it used to be. She's more chill, but even then, just I always feel more comfortable.
Listen, if you were living with her, you'd become a target just like the old days, and you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is worse? What is worse?
Oh man.
Okay. You rushed yourself in a decision you could have made peace with being there, but now you got to live with the consequences, which is now you got to normalize, and both of you need to be on normal schedules. She can't be working cleaning overnights anymore. No.
Yeah.
No more.
It was like a temporary fix. I don't like it at all, but at the same time, it's just temporary, Just.
Well, temporary has been for how long now?
I think like over a year.
Doesn't seem too temporary, does it?
Yeah, I've just been doing temporary Band-Aid fixes. It's like open
Once
wounds.
again, you need to sit down with your wife and figure out how to normalize your life. Period. Okay. You can't avoid this anymore.
Okay.
For you to be able to start school, you have to have some calmness time for yourself, and having 2 autistic children living at home, not going to school, it would make it impossible for you to do that, and your wife.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way. That's just like, I know you say like, oh, you got to do the work, do this. And it's like, yeah, I can do it. And even though my situation is just so chaotic.
But you can normalize your scenario by getting rid of your anger. Right now, you're reactive to everything that's around you. There's no moment of peace in you. That's why you're lashing out at everything.
Yeah.
You got to stop lashing out of habit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll just start manifesting some revocations for anger.
It isn't about revocations anymore, man.
Just okay.
It's doing now and following through and normalizing your life. Getting your wife out of a third shift job so that she can be mommy with a stick and correcting the kids in the right position. If dad being dad, mom being mom.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, brother. I'm done roasting you from right now. I think you've had enough roasting.
Yeah, my ass is burned. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Well, thanks.
All right, Robert. You're welcome. All right, Robert, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who we got next.
Alrighty, Andrew. Glenn, you are on live.
Glenn, are you there? Glenn, are you there?
Oh, we're here.
Hello, how you doing today?
Hello, we're very good. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
good.
Where are you calling from today?
We're in Sydney, Australia.
Welcome to the show, Sydney, Australia. What did you want to talk about today?
Danush and I we're in a relationship, and we just think that we have a very
Fighting a lot last
Yep.
weeks.
we've been arguing a bit, and then we started thinking. We know that there's some kind of karmic connection, but we're just wondering what it is.
What are you
what's been
arguing
going
about? What are you arguing about?
on.
It's just like very, the energy is clutching, and just from nowhere started to be very, very, yeah, the situation, Glenn become very negative, very kind of aggressive and just very violent. And I started to having anxieties, and yes. So
Yeah, I can never figure out what the argument's actually about. We're just like go around in circles, and then I've blown my top and sworn a bit and stuff.
yeah, like
And then,
lots
like-
of very, very big words.
And darling,
heart chakra is closing.
darling, did your parents argue a lot?
My parents, yes, I saw it, and I always like.
Does
so
it have?
much-
Does your argument and does the arguments you have with Glenn and your parents kind of reflective of each other? Your parents yell at each other and swear?
Yes, I did in my very early age, and it's like really damaging me. So I can't really release my aggression back. Like I always I'll go away from this aggression.
This is a karmic relationship. Just know, if you guys don't know what the argument's about, you're arguing for argument's sake.
Yeah.
To be right. Just to be right, and it doesn't matter what it's about. Pencils and pens. Okay? Now, Glenn, did your parents argue a lot?
No.
Never?
No, hardly ever. Like, really.
Well, his family is so chilled, and
Okay,
and
let me
so
finish.
aggressive and
So let me
arguing.
finish. You have no idea how much it triggers her when you raise your voice out of being an Australian asshole.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have no idea how much that triggers her, and you've got to control that shit.
Yeah, she has mentioned it, and I was like, okay, so that's what the bottom of it is. You got daddy issues.
That's just no. That's insulting to her. She's got daddy.
Yeah, okay.
That's insulting to her. And shit like that comes out of your mouth is insulting. Which starts another argument, because you're basically saying she's a wimp.
Yeah.
No, she was traumatized by her parents.
Yeah.
And you have to have compassion for that. And reel back the Australian asshole who just goes off. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. I've just got to remind myself of those issues every time that these arguments come up. And
in the moment.
That's a good
You've got to stop it from even going 5 words into it. Okay? The next thing here is, your parents never argued. Where did you learn to become an arguer?
I don't know if I learned it.
Yes,
I just
you did.
like I don't like whenever I've got into an argument, I think I've been in arguments in past relationships. I never know what to do, and I never know what you're arguing about. I'm always you're right. It's just about trying to be right or something.
Why do you have to be right?
Yeah, I don't have to be. It's best just to walk away from an argument.
Answer the question. Why do you have to be right?
I think it's just an emotional trigger. It's like you want.
Stop searching for an answer and go inside and have the actual answer you already know but are avoiding. She's laughing because she knows the answer.
Yeah, when I say it, it just come up into my head, like, because I'm the man. It's just because I'm the man. You are the woman. I'm the man.
Oh, Glenn, can you accept that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
Like last few times, it was so dramatic that I felt so totally not secure, not protected. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
once we was during the Drukchen, we was in the Tibetan retreat, and in the moment Glenn started to practice, I was so happy. He's in touch with mantras and stuff, and apart from it, like I felt we start to in the evening argue, and I saying I'm going away, and he threw in me the dirt in my face, and I felt like so much anxiety about this moment. Like it's just like for him, he do not feel this is anything. It's clearly that he's not do not feel control of himself in this moment.
Okay, great answer. Now let me talk to Glenn. Glenn, can you accept that you had to be right because you're the man?
Oh yeah, why not? I can accept that.
Okay, I want you to talk to your male side and ask it this question: why do you have male side? Why do you have to be right? And let your subconscious answer. Say it out loud, male side. Why do you have to be right?
Why do I have to be right?
First thing that comes to your mind.
I don't have to be. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
When it comes to arguing with her.
Something about emotions that
You can't handle her emotions.
yeah, well, arguing about emotional things. I guess I'm trying to get a closure on something that you're never going to get closure on.
No, you're trying to force her to have closure on something she can't have closure with. Because you've never experienced her traumas. Therefore, you don't really respect her trauma. Okay? Because you don't know what it is. You haven't lived in those shoes. Now I want you to say to yourself, male aspect that has to be right. Say it out loud.
Male aspect that has to be right.
You are no longer always right.
You are no longer always right.
I recede the permission.
I recede the permission.
Of you always being right in arguments.
Of you always being right in arguments.
And every time I get into an argument.
And every time I get into an argument.
And you demand you need to be right.
And you demand, and I demand I need to be right.
You are wrong.
I'm wrong.
Okay. And you're going to have to repeat that to yourself over the next couple of weeks. It's ingrained into you. Okay. Deeply, deeply, deeply ingrained, and that's cultural.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cultural. Okay. Now, let me ask you the next question here. You guys don't really know what the arguments are about. When you guys weren't arguing, what was life like?
Pleasant.
I didn't get the question.
What's it like when we're not arguing?
Yeah, we like have a loving, blissful, loving moments, and yeah, it just come like from nowhere. It's just clutch. Like the energy is just certainly changed, and it's gonna become so like it's like a pattern. But it's happened since before New Year. Is like multiply 1,000 times.
But it's happening every month as well when Dinah's having her women's business, and I just find, and we've been taking even time apart for like a week or two when that's happening, and that sort of works. And
but then it's not you respecting the space that she needs and coming from a loving touch during that time. You're avoiding her woman's energy.
But Donna has been very, very, very picky, and she has been constantly, picking at me. Like it's not, it's not just one-sided.
But
And I'm the one that's ended up reacting. But yeah, she's been really picky, and I've found it hard to. I mean, how do you do it? Do you just walk away every time?
What is she picking on you about?
Everything.
Like what?
I don't like. I can go through like a whole week where there's just not one positive thing. I'm just like yearning for like some positive words, and it's just constant criticism.
So you're constantly being offended because she's criticizing you, but you can't identify a single criticism?
No, I can identify it, but
what are they?
I like some kind words mixed in, and I just like
tough luck. What are the things? What is she picking on you about?
Anything. Eating habits. Sometimes I'll have a drink, not too often. I know how bad that is, and then she really hates that. Even if I have one beer, she hates that. She hates the smell.
But I would say.
But that brings her back to, and she says that brings her back to her parents, and she.
Now you're talking over her and not respecting her position.
I would say always, please stay away from me when you're drinking. Just do not come to me.
Yeah.
I respect my space and me. Like I can't handle.
So why can't he have one beer around you?
I feel like it's become very like no one I accept is a beer made by monks.
No, answer the question. Why can't he have one beer in front of you?
I don't know. I feel like especially with him become so.
No. You are avoiding the answer. Why can't he have one beer in front of you? And I'm going to answer for you because you're avoiding. You're judging him.
Maybe I can't handle the energy of the
of one beer. You can't handle the energy of one beer.
Yeah, I feel like something like I can't be around it. I feel like I feel very.
That's being a zealot.
Can you explain this word for me? I don't know the word.
It means that it's your way is the only way.
No, I'm actually very, very, very,
now he's laughing.
He's laughing.
But this happens. It can be food or anything else, and I sense the judgment, and it happens, and I'm just like suddenly feeling in my own house like I'm a second-rate citizen, and I feel like shit. I'm like, wow. So what? I just go somewhere else. I'm sorry for like doing something that's a little bit naughty, and I'll even have to say I'm like sorry.
You shouldn't have to say sorry, and that's something she has to work on about judgment.
And then when I say sorry, it's like turns into this is a time to attack you for the next 3 hours.
But it's like, I feel like I can ask about certain things, just protect, respect me in my space. Like if you come to me, please be in a clear state.
But that's bullshit. That's total bullshit. That's owning and controlling and manipulation.
Yeah, and other people have mentioned.
Hold on. Let me talk to her. This comes back to her mother and father.
Yeah.
Okay, who controlled and owned and manipulated you.
Yeah, that was traumatic. Mother and father, they was really having similar stuff from nowhere, and I could see this when is this arguing about, not arguing, it's also love going in. It's a sexual energy kind of like it's clashing like ping and pong like, but then it's kind of so much hurting. The heart is closing. Really.
And the father left as well. He did.
I know all this already.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you know that you're an obsessive compulsive person?
Me?
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes.
It's yes or no. It can't be no. It can't be both.
Yeah, I sometimes really saying truth, and it's
then no. That's your story you've created to accept being obsessive compulsive.
Yes.
You cannot enforce your obsession and compulsion onto him. That's manipulation and control. And that's inner work you've got to do. He's not getting drunk. He's having a beer. He's having some food. He's not a vegetarian. So what? Stop judging him.
Yeah.
or the relationship's going to end and you're going to take this into every other relationship you go into. Glenn, stop arguing with her when she's manipulative and in manipulation. Don't feed into it. Don't apologize for doing it. Don't get drunk either. Okay?
Yeah, that's great advice.
Okay?
Yep.
The two of you have separate inner work that are what I call self-licking triggers or self-licking ice cream cones. Okay? You're always getting at each other's cores because your cores are affecting each other.
Yeah.
Okay? You have an opportunity to get over some major issues if you just stop arguing. You got to call a truce. And darling, it's going to be hard for you to stop being obsessive compulsive because that's all you really know how to do when you don't feel in control.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to stop. You just got to plain stop. And you got to recognize when you're doing it. Listen, being a judgmental person will only lower your frequency no matter how much spiritual work you do. Take those words on. If I am being judgmental, I am lowering my frequency, and all the positive work I do is for naught. For every time I judge somebody, I lose thousands of hours of practice of being a high frequency being.
I know this.
If you know it, apply it. Conscious application of it now. You're not the only person that have these types of issues. Okay, you guys have a great loving side to you too. And you're asking about karma. Absolutely, this is a karmic relationship. Absolutely, you guys both have a lot of past life issues that are coming up here.
Yeah, it's triggering so much.
But you can't blame past lives anymore. It is these current lives that are creating the current issues. Past lives are just what brought you together to love each other. That's all they did.
Okay, it's not about fixing problems from before. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't bother meeting each other again. Is that it?
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Exactly. Love got you here. Now love is going to continue. The love to get over the now and the issues created this lifetime.
All right. Yeah, I had it in my head. Maybe like one of us killed each other in the past or something.
You did. You both killed each other, loved each other, had kids with each other. You've done the whole circle of life together.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why you come together during the Great Awakening, because you know that if you guys get over your own insecurities and your own judgments of the world, you'll be a great couple.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay? And a lot of potential of having great work to impact thousands of people if you choose to get out of your own way.
And that's what we both want to help people in some sort of way.
That you
the
gotta
way
help.
how we with each other also was very, very, very strange.
Mm-hmm. You got to start listening to yourselves now. I would highly recommend the next time you guys start arguing, you'll both record it and go back and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But one of you is going to get awful judgmental of hitting the record button and putting it down and continuing the argument. I can tell you that.
I've already been recording. I can tell you that. Yeah, I was listening. This is like so. It's so intense. After I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Because you get. Let me tell you something. You give more than he digs on you. You give a lot more. I know this. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
When you look at the overall aggregate of what he may say to you to what you give back, he is a 6-foot wave. You are a 30-foot wave hitting him. You have a lot more energy giving back to him, and some of it is uncalled for. Okay? And it's sneaky that some of this energy just comes in. Okay?
Yes.
Just like he has to come to you in a perfect state of being. Bullshit. That's manipulation and control. Okay?
Yeah, it just we saw, you know, it will tell a lot of phrase. Like Glenn always saying, we come here only to have fun, to the planet Earth. And I always felt like we come here to up our consciousness, to up our, yeah,
Yes,
so,
to have fun with your consciousness and expand and explore and joy and happiness.
Everybody wants to be happy. I know that much.
Yes, except for those angry, depressed people.
Yeah. Do you think is a not bad combination of this credo together as a parent for a new person? Like have fun and up consciousness.
Well, yeah, that would make a lot better children if the parents were happy. All right, guys, thanks a lot. I got to let you go and move on to the next caller.
Very helpful. Thank you so much, Robert.
I've roasted you enough.
Thank you, Andre.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Thanks a lot for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, this has been a galactic roast so far.
We wanted to get roasted.
Yep, there you go. You guys have been fully roasted. All right, Robert, spin up the wheel of callers and see who I roast next.
Okay, Len, you are on next.
Oh.
Hello, are you there?
Hey, Andrew, how you doing, man?
Where are you calling from, Len?
Florida.
Florida. Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about today?
Honestly, I'm like one of those people who always says they never expected to get called.
Well, here you
yeah. First thing, honestly, just one of the questions I always want to ask is, how are you doing? You know,
I'm doing pretty good. The coronavirus is affecting me a little bit. I miss going to the movie theater. I miss going out and visiting friends. Social distancing is a bullshit. It's getting to me. But I'm still doing good.
I get you. I'm happy to hear that you're at least doing well. You know, kind of just wanted to also share, you know, just something that you've helped me understand in the past experiences that or conversations that we've had together is that it's important to not, like, I find that I was glamorizing the spiritual life, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people might do well to learn from. You know,
yeah. Many people live the spiritual glamour life and show off this and that.
Yeah, and once you push that aside, you kind of realize how, you know, second nature it is to just be at one with things that are normal. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what another thing I want to say. I really was shocked. In terms of the Galactic History 2.0, I noticed you guys said that the lady said that we can get a hold of or let go of Roman numeral time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going forward, how does that kind of play out? How would that scenario play out?
You detoxify from the time that is demanded you conform to the global narrative.
Right.
Example, your job requires 40 hours of focus to get a paycheck. Mm-hmm. It doesn't actually require that, though.
Not at all.
And that is an example of learning how to detoxify from the prerequisite requirements of conformity, that I can do my job and spend very little amount of my infinite energy at it, and then have lots of my energy saved up for myself, so I can begin to have very powerful experiences that can transcend time itself.
I understand.
Okay? And then the other part about detoxifying from time is recognizing that there are friends and family who are stuck in time, and we have to learn time management.
Right.
Both the physical time management skills and the multidimensional time management skills.
Yeah, okay. I see what you mean.
Calendar magic is going to be one of your greatest skills going forward. Putting shit on your calendar and doing it, and having personal consequences if you put something on the calendar and don't do it, and if there's not a good reason for not doing it, like death in the family. Okay? Your meditation's got to be on your calendar. I got to start doing it at a prerequisite time so that you can start having more no time experiences on a regular basis.
Right. Right. That makes sense. And I've definitely been feeling that, like I've actually made more time for prayer, for meditation, for just taking care of myself and paying attention to the things that reach out to me. You know.
Mhm.
Damn, there's something else I wanted to ask. I completely forgot. Well, for the sake of me forgetting, is there anything that shoots out to you, that jumps out to you in terms of? I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to get roasted. No, is there anything that jumps out to you?
Hold on, let me put my blowtorch away. Tell me about what you're doing for money right now.
Right now I'm still working online for my college. So I'm still good on money, and I still have my graphic design business on the side. I actually just released a book from it now. So I've got money coming in.
What kind of design job? I didn't hear what you said.
Graphic design.
Graphic design. I kind of remember you now.
Yeah.
And you're doing stuff on the side.
Well, the main job is for college, and then graphic design is the side job.
Right. And you've got a lot of side work going to keep you stable?
Not enough at the moment, but I'm starting to put all my eggs in that basket, kind of.
Okay. And you said you got a website going and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
How long till you're done with college?
No, the college job it's just there. That's my full-time job.
No, you're not in school anymore is what I'm saying.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Are you doing work from home now for the school?
Mm-hmm.
And is that going to be for the foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Are you living alone?
Nope.
Who are you living with?
My whole family. Mom, sister, grandmother, father.
You like living there?
Not particularly.
What are the downsides? What are the downsides to it?
I just, it's the aggravations of living with people sometimes.
Okay. Have you ever lived on your own?
When I was in college, yeah.
Okay. You got a car?
Yep.
Just let me scan a little bit more.
Okay.
You're more free than you allowing yourself to understand or know.
I agree with that. Yeah.
And if you really wanted to go, you could have left years ago. Okay.
Facts. Yep.
So there are a lot of upsides to living where you're living right now. And you kind of got to recognize that you got it kind of nice there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just know that during this coronavirus time, you just have to figure out how to go and get man alone time. If it weren't coronavirus time, I'd tell you to go and buy a boat and go fishing all the time. Okay? Or something like that. Go hunting, even if you don't want to kill anything, just walk with the gun or the bow, or just go out somewhere and do something. That is man alone time.
I get that.
Okay? I go fishing all the time, and I don't bring hooks or bait with me. I just put a sinker, a weight on the end of the line and throw it in the water, and it looks like I'm fishing, and then I have my man alone time. Okay? No one's judging me for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay? You'd be surprised how people totally, look at you different when you're just a man with a fishing rod instead of a guy with a stage stick and a fucking drum. Okay? Difference.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. I think I found that for myself. I just don't do it enough.
What is it that you do to have your man alone time?
I pack up my bag and I just get on a longboard and I just go to the park. I ride to the park or something like that, and I just sit out there for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay, that's nothing. That's prison yard break. I'm talking like a day, 2 days.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Go buy a tent. Go to Walmart or go to Cabela's and buy a 2-man tent Practice setting it up and tearing it down. Go watch some YouTube videos on bushcrafting. Find a local park that you can go to, because you can still go camping in COVID-19. Okay?
True. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Okay? Get your
Yeah.
alone time so you can feel like you're alone, so you can do your spiritual work.
Yes.
Your meditations will be much more effective when you're doing it out in the middle of nature, alone in a tent, and there's, no one's going to knock on your door and interrupt you.
That's facts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can buy a tent for $60, a little cooking set for probably $30, and whatever food and water you want to take, and you're ready to go.
Actually, you know what? I already have all of that, so you're spot on.
All right, it's just
Yeah.
it's putting the shit in the car and going then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear you.
So where did you say you're living at?
Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, you've got thousands of campsites to go to.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands and thousands that you can go to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
So
say that one more time.
You've got thousands of campsites you can go to that are gator free.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I hear you. I guess one more thing. I would be remiss if I didn't ask for my mother. I had a cousin that passed away, and it seemed so sudden and unexpected, obviously, and just not feel like it wasn't supposed to happen to him. I was just curious to know.
Tell me about the cousin. Well, how did he pass away?
Car crash. Yeah.
How old was he?
Oof, had to be 38 to 40. I'm not sure, honestly.
Did he have kids?
Yeah.
You close to him?
No, I'm not too close with a lot of my family, like that far out.
Every car crash has been spiritually contracted long before birth. It was his time to go. Now, he left behind kids. That means that's karmic in there. That means that those kids have to learn to grow up with their mother and on their own without the father in the position. That means this is something that the kids have to grow and work with. Now, you're not close with that side of the family, means you're not entangled to helping those kids grow. If you were close, you would be with them, helping them whatever way you could.
Right.
Okay? Maybe they'd be coming camping and fishing with you, and you'd have a great old time and learn how to be a dad before you're a dad. Okay?
Yeah.
But right now, you're not connected to them. And just understand it's a karmic scenario. That's how karma works. Karma's a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I hear you. I just wasn't sure if he was like set up or something, you know?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was just his time.
Just his time.
I hear you.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So let me ask you a probe of question. This is not roasting. When's the last time you've camped on your own, totally on your own?
Never.
Why?
Honestly, I don't know. I actually attempted to the other day, but then something pulled me out of it.
What? I tried to identify it in this moment. What pulled you
it
out?
It was the nagging of people in my ear telling me I probably shouldn't.
What people?
Moms.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was in the backyard. I mean, I thought it was a good idea not to at that time, only because it had rained, and I was just like, yeah, probably wouldn't have been best to be out there in the rain on my first time go around or whatever. So just
a little rain's gonna make you melt.
No.
I'm gonna roast you.
I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's just me like justifying that feeling. I guess it was a good idea not to be out there. Yeah.
But
I get you.
But you could have been under a tent in your own privacy, listening to the rain put you to sleep, separate of your own home, and gone to the deepest meditative sleep you've ever had. You've got to counter those arguments for self-defeat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? You got to counter those. Okay?
Good point. I won't give in so easily next time.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't give in so easy.
Yeah, or at all.
Yeah, exactly. You got all the camping stuff. What, a little rain's gonna hurt you? You can always go and sit in your car. Okay.
Yeah. Fair point.
Okay.
Fair point.
It's not gonna snow on you in Florida, is it?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you already know when the hurricanes are coming.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Yeah. All good points. It's just self-defeatist. So I'm gonna break that. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been progressing very, very well in my mind. So I already know I'm gonna beat it. All of that. So. But I don't want to take up too much time from anybody else who wants to speak up. You know.
All right. Thanks a lot for calling. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. Anyways, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you.
And Sarah Thomas Lyons. Too cold to camp? I would like for you to go onto YouTube and type in winter bushcrafting. There are people that go out there with no sleeping bag and a small little makeshift wood fur tent, and they learn to do it just fine. You have a little bit of a delicate sensibility. You can go and get yourself an all-weather tent and an all-weather sleeping bag and be fine even in negative 20-degree weather. And this is for everyone out there. Type in winter bushcrafting in YouTube. You're going to be surprised at all these channels that show you how to do that stuff. All right, Robert, thanks a lot. If you guys are interested in getting Galactic History 2, 40 plus hours of material, go to andrewbartzis.com/shop, and you will be able to see Galactic History 2 for a special valuated price of $88. Thanks a lot, everyone. We will be here tomorrow, Friday, for the annual every other week comedy show with Monty Dean. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll catch you tomorrow at 6 o'clock for the comedy show.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence. Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important? Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.